Hello students, we are learning lesson 6 life processes and this is video 11 of the lesson. Today we are going to learn about transportation in plants. Previously, in the previous video, we have already learned about the transportation in animals, that is especially in human beings, and now transportation in plants. This is given on page number 108 of your textbook. 108 page, transportation in plants. This is the thing. Transportation in plants means two types of major things in the plants has to be transported. One is the water and minerals from the roots up to the leaves, and the other is the food prepared by the leaves or the green parts of the plants has to be distributed to all the organs of the plants. Now the in-text question is there on page number 110. First, that is question 3. What are the components of the transport system in highly organized plants? In highly organized plants, the conducting tissues, xylem and phloem, does the transportation system. Xylem carries the water and minerals and phloem carries the food which is prepared by the leaves and it is distributed to the different other organs. The components of xylem are vessels and tracheids, and the phloem has the component like sieve tube, sieve cells and companion cells. So xylem carries water and minerals from the roots to leaves, and the interconnected vessels and tracheids form a continuous channel reaching all the parts of the plant. That means there is a continuous tube from the root up to the leaves, continuous tube. Inside the tube, the xylem components of tracheids are there. So they form a continuous tube which carries the water and minerals from the roots to the leaves. Phloem, it conducts soluble products of the photosynthesis from leaves to different parts of the plant body. Soluble product of photosynthesis means food prepared by photosynthesis is dissolved in water and it is transported to various parts of the plant body. The next question in the same page, that is page number 110, question number 4. How are water and minerals transported in plants? Now in the higher plants, it possesses xylem tissue which is associated with the transportation of water. First of all, the water is absorbed by the roots. It is absorbed by the roots and is transported to the stem, branches, leaves and flowers through xylem. Xylem is a tube-like component. Now, structural components of xylem, they are tracheids and vessels. They are responsible for transport of water. Tracheids and vessels. Now, tracheids are mostly present in the lower plants like herbs, and vessels are there in the shrubs and trees. The xylem tissue of all the organs of the plants are interconnected, forming a continuous system for water conduction. As I told you that each xylem tissue, suppose xylem tissue of root is connected with the xylem tissue of stem and xylem tissue of stem is connected with the xylem tissue of leaf. So all the organs xylem tissue are interconnected. The process of conduction. In the process of conduction, see this diagram. First of all, the root which is in touch of the soil. Now inside the soil the minerals are there and the minerals gets dissolved in the water. First of all, the mineral in the ionic form, the ions are absorbed by the root hairs. So as the ions goes from the soil into the root hair, concentration of the ions increases inside the root hair. So wherever the concentration of the sugar is more, then the water rushes into that area by osmosis. That is from higher concentration of the water area to the lower concentration. So water rushes from the soil into the root hair to eliminate the difference between the concentration of water by osmosis. As the ions enter, the water pushes the ions. So it pushes the ions and the ions will be pushed up and then it reaches the leaves. Now this process of osmosis is sufficient for the lower trees like herbs. But in the higher plants like trees, what happens if the water is pushing the minerals, then the pushing strength is not so sufficient that it will reach to the tip of the tree. The tree may be, the height of the tree comes to you, suppose a flat, the first floor or sometimes up to the second floor it comes. So without any energy, the minerals cannot reach such a top portion. So in this case, the conduction is done by ascent of sap. Now what is ascent of sap? See the process of conduction in the higher trees. Here the taller trees transport the that's minerals by the process of ascent of sap. In the ascent of sap, what happens is that the transportation is done by the process of transpiration. What happens? That these leaves, they have stomatal pores. Now from the stomatal pores, if suppose 100% water is present, 95% of water is evaporated in the dry atmosphere. And when the evaporation is there, the atmosphere sucks the water from the leaves. So this sucking force will pull the water. As the sucking is done, the water is coming out of the leaves. So leaves water becomes empty. At that time, whatever water is pushed from the stem up to the branches, and from the branches the water enters inside the leaves by osmosis from the higher concentration to lower concentration area. So this sucking force by the transpiration process is the major driving force which pulls the water from the root up to the leaves. And the minerals which is dissolved in the water is called sap, and ascent means moving in the upward direction. So this is called ascent of sap. This technique is used by the taller trees. And this is all that I have written in the notes. I will be sending it in the PDF form. Now the next question is, how is food transported in plants? Now transportation of the food in the plants is from the leaves towards the other organs of the plants, and this is called translocation. That means distribution of the food prepared by the green parts of the plants to the other parts is called translocation. And translocation is done by the phloem vessel, phloem tissue. The translocation is done. And the components of the phloem tissue are sieve tube and sieve cells. Sieve tubes are present in the taller trees and bigger plants, and the sieve cells are there in the smaller plants like herbs. Now this phloem tissue transports the food, and besides that it also besides carbohydrates, it also has to transport amino acids, several plant hormones which are synthesized at the shoot tip and the root tip. That means the translocation has to be done from the leaves towards the lower downward portion, that is from the leaves towards the roots, as well as from the roots even towards the leaves. So the transportation by the phloem is done in both the ways. Both the ways it goes on. The things like hormones are taken from the shoot tip. Hormones, if suppose certain hormones are synthesized at the tip of the root, it has to be taken from the root towards the leaves. And certain hormones, if it is synthesized at the tip of the shoot, it may be taken from the upper part to the lower part. So the translocation in the phloem goes on in the upward direction as well as downward direction. Now the energy which is required for the movement towards the upward portion, then it is given by ATP, that is known as active transport. And when the material like sucrose, now how it goes on? First of all, when the material like sucrose is transferred into the phloem tissue, that is from the inside the leaves the sucrose is prepared, from the leaves it is transferred into the phloem of the stem. So the osmotic pressure of the tissue increases, and this leads to the entry of water. Osmotic pressure increases means whenever the concentration of the sugar shifts from the leaves towards the stem, then the concentration in the stem increases. So the water from the leaves will enter the stem, because wherever the concentration of sugar is more, there the water enters by osmosis. So first of all the sugar will enter the stem, and then the water from the leaves will enter the stem, and this water will push the minerals. It will push the mineral, like in the leaves the food is prepared, and if it comes to the stem, then first of all the sucrose enters, the food enters, and then the water enters the stem and pushes it either downward or upward wherever it is required. So this allows the phloem to move material according to the need of the plant. Wherever the concentration of the sugar is less, towards that side the sugar will move as well as water will move and push it. So it will allow the material to move towards the place where the concentration of sugar is less. So this is all about today. We will be meeting in the next video.